Live from Fox 39 and your home team. Eyewitness News in the morning starts now.
Happening right now, Election Day turning into election week. We have a lot to catch up on this morning. New numbers coming into our newsroom. The holdup right now. And we're going to zero in on Wisconsin, where the state flipped to blue in that very tight race.
And after the fair tax bill fails on Tuesday, a warning from Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, the cuts that could be coming because less revenue is coming in.
Plus, take a look at this, the image found through a telescope. People amazed by this morning. We're going to show you what it means for all of us. I want to start with an amazing shot, though, right here at home. A live look over downtown Rockford. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful start to your day. Thanks for switching over to be with us here on Fox 39. I'm Whitney Martin.
And I'm Elliot Grandia. Another amazing point of this week. We're almost to Friday. And I think a lot of people this week, I don't know what it is about Election Day, but it makes it feel like it's later in the week. And then you wake up and you're like, it's only Wednesday.
I know. It does feel like that. It's the stress.
We're inching closer to that Friday mark.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being with us through the entire election process, too. It is not Election Day anymore. It is Election Week, as we are still waiting for a lot of those votes to be counted. I know we've been keeping a close eye on everything.
Yeah, a lot of slim margins this morning, and we're getting latest updates on some of those counts that we're watching. We're watching Georgia, Nevada, and Georgia really down to 20,000 votes or so between the two candidates in Nevada. Also a close race, but those final counts should be coming this morning. We're hearing out of Nevada. We should know sometime between 9 and 11. Georgia kind of around the same time frame. So stay with Eyewitness News. You're in the right place if you want to hear the latest on some of those states that we're really watching closely.
Want to keep a close eye on the forecast as well. This is the week to get outside. If you're not normally outside person, do it right now. Let's go over to meteorologist Joey Marino. Just get outside.
Yeah, what a fabulous week we've had since Election Day. 70s and plenty of sunshine. We are starting off with a little cloud cover out there, so let's take a live look at our Mercy L SkyTrack camera over downtown Rockford. You can see mostly cloudy skies. Pretty quiet, though. Not much moisture with this system, so not expecting any rain to be passing on through. Temperature-wise, we're at 52 in Rockford, 48 in Freeport, 49 in Dixon, 45 in Rochelle, and 48 in Monroe. Winds are light out there as you head out for the morning commute. About 5 to 10 mile-per-hour winds will greet you out the door this morning, along with the cloud cover. As you can see on satellite and radar, we got plenty of it across the state line this morning. Now, heading out the door this morning, you'll see mostly cloudy skies, but we'll slowly start to see that cloud cover break apart once we get into the late morning hours. So quiet for this morning's commute, a bit cloudy as you travel to your destination. We keep the lights green for the morning commute and also for the evening commute. Temperatures today well above average. I'll let you know how much longer we have with the 70s in the forecast. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much. Happening overnight, 2 people in the hospital right now after being shot on Rockford's east side. It happened on Carthage Drive near Alpine and Harrison about 1:45 this morning. Police say both victims are expected to be okay. Investigation, though, is still ongoing this morning. Also this morning, President Trump's campaign suing a number of states, claiming they have not been given fair access to oversee the ballot count process.
Yeah, election night slowly turning into election week right now. Eyewitness News, of course, your local election headquarters. President Trump or former Vice President Joe Biden need that 270 mark, that electoral vote, to win. Overnight ballots have been coming in from key battleground states like Georgia, Pennsylvania, Arizona. Biden has been closing the lead in Georgia and in Pennsylvania. Well, President Trump is closing the lead in Arizona. That's a state he must win at this point. Nevada, where they stopped counting, that'll resume counting later this morning. We saw around 9 o'clock. And new this morning, Trump supporters protesting in blue leading states around the nation, chanting to stop counting votes. Most protesters have been trying to get into election department buildings around key battleground states. We're talking Michigan, Arizona, and Nevada. They're just trying to stop ballots from coming in right now. They're facing backlash, though, from Biden supporters. We're seeing the other side of this. Hundreds of them on the streets in Portland and Seattle counter-protesting to count the vote.
Well, time right now is 7:04. Associated Press saying Joe Biden gets a narrow election night victory over President Trump in Wisconsin. Now, officials right now saying that Biden won by fewer than 21,000 votes, with Biden taking the Badger State's 10 electoral votes. Associated Press says he's at 264. Now, candidates, you need a 270 to win. President Trump has 214. Again, all of these votes still coming in right now. The Trump campaign, though, already calling for a recount in Wisconsin. You can do that within 1%.
Well, anything can happen in a battleground state like Wisconsin. This showed in the election a couple minutes ago. We told you Joe Biden was the projected winner in that state. He won the state by about 20,000 votes in 2016. President Trump carrying Wisconsin by about the same amount, 22,000 votes in that case. Trump and Biden supporters in Rock County telling us they remain pretty hopeful in this election.
I believe that Trump will allow us to have our liberties and our freedoms, and I think that's the most valuable thing that we can have.
It's time for change. Somebody new thoughts.
Well, Rock County was blue this election and in 2016. Well, just coming in this morning, we'll have to wait a little longer on results from one state race. The ballot count for the 90th district race postponed until further notice right now. Ogle County is recounting the votes after the county clerk's office discovered some technical issues with the electronic vote tabulators on election day. They say those machines did not read that oval mark correctly on the ballot, and that's pretty important right now. So election officials were set to recount today, but now say that's being pushed back to a later date. That race is between incumbent Republican Tom Demmer and Democrat Seth Wiggins.
An assistant professor at Beloit College believing that Wisconsin represents the country as a whole this election. Phil Chen teaches political science. He says while there are not a lot of major shifts as people participated in the democratic process, however, one big change, early voting. Chen saying that early voting numbers formally favor Republicans. That pattern, though, flipped this year because of COVID-19. Chen believes that absentee ballots and voting early could be a new way to make more people heard.
We might see this as sort of a habit-forming thing, that people might say, well, that was pretty convenient. I was able to vote early. I didn't have to stand in line on a Tuesday, didn't have to hurry home after work. I could just go on the weekend and, devote an hour and go vote and be done with it.
Well, Chen adds that the way Wisconsin counted votes was typical.
Illinois voters did not pass one of the most controversial questions on this year's ballot, the Democrat-backed fair tax, pushing for a graduated income tax. However, after election night, the state will continue to run under a flat tax, where every income level is taxed at the same rate. Governor Pritzker warning, though, the fair tax defeat, there will be cuts, and they're going to be painful.
If you think cutting government alone is the solution, remember this. If you set aside federally protected programs, court-ordered obligations, and our bond and pension debt, we would have to reduce discretionary spending in our state by approximately 15%.
Governor Pritzker is saying he has no plans right now to order a recount.
Well, from inaccurate polls to a long wait for tallies, election results have fallen short of some expectations.
Yeah, clinical psychologist telling Alexis Carpello there's a term that sums up election-related stress.
Many people are exhausted by the coronavirus pandemic. Waiting to see who has the clear path to the White House is only adding to anxieties. Rockford University political science associate professor Ron Lee says he doesn't remember an election being this close.
Not with so many states like this.
While there may be a lot of unresolved issues right now with the presidential election, Lee says one thing is clear.
Pollsters again failed. They had Biden with double nationwide 11 percentage point lead just a few days ago, and razor thin margins in a number of these states. I think, Trump did a lot better than a lot of the pollsters and analysts had been predicting.
Which can add to the stress many are feeling. A new term has even been coined to describe it: election stress disorder.
I don't think it's an actual disorder, but given all the uncertainty in people's lives right now, I think the anxiety is heightened.
According to the American Psychological Association, around 70% of adults are stressed about the election. By party, 76% of Democrats and 67% of Republicans are feeling the extra pressure.
While I understand it's important and people want to stay informed, turn your phone and your computer and your TV off an hour before you go to bed and do a wind down routine. We get into that fight or flight response, and there's lots of adrenaline and cortisol and stress hormones. And doing something as simple as breathing slowly and deeply for even 5 minutes can help bring you out of that state.
Reporting for your home team, I'm Alexis Carpello.
It's something I think we could all really use that reminder right now. It's 7:09, happening as we speak. Little girl found screaming under the rubble after an earthquake. She's now doing a lot better. The new information we're learning about her rescue, Joey.
And we've had 2 straight days with highs in the 70s. The most we've had in November is 5. I think we get to that by this weekend. I'll let you know how warm we'll get coming up in the forecast.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Whitney Martin, Elliot Grandia, and meteorologist Joey Marino. Now, your first warm weather forecast with meteorologist Joey Marino.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday. It's no joke when we say it's been very warm across the state line. We've been a couple of degrees actually below our record highs for not only Election Day, but also yesterday. Yesterday, we topped out around 73 degrees. Today, we're going to see similar warmth as we climb back into the low 70s. Taking a live look at our Mercy L SkyTrack camera over downtown Rockford. Mostly cloudy skies. A cloudy start to our day out there, but fortunately, we are quiet across the state line. You can see temperatures a little bit warmer to start. 48 out in Freeport, 52 in Rockford, 50 down in Sterling, and 52 also up in Janesville. Right now, winds are very light, between 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the southwest, so not going to run into any issues with the wind as you make your way out for the morning commute. Mostly cloudy skies out there, but we're already starting to see some clearing just to the northwest of Dubuque and also Cedar Rapids, and that's because the weak disturbance that we've been dealing with this morning is tracking to our south. Now, high pressure continues to dominate the northeast and also the Rocky Mountains, keeping much of the lower 48 pretty dry. We're just dealing with some cloud cover with a weak disturbance that's currently passing to our south, but we're not going to be dealing with this stubborn cloud cover for much longer. We're actually going to see gradual clearing throughout the morning, and that's going to lead to plenty of afternoon sunshine. We're going to have that light breeze as well, and that's going to push highs back into the low 70s. So let's take a look at that using Futurecast. You can see once we get towards midday into the early afternoon, we are going to see mostly sunny skies. Maybe a few clouds lingering on into the afternoon, but overall, plenty of sunshine. Now, we do stay dry as we head into the overnight hours. Mostly clear skies will help us drop back into the upper 40s by the time we get into tomorrow morning. Now, we have a very dry atmosphere, not only for today, but also tomorrow. So that's going to keep the sunshine in the forecast as we head into week's end. All of that moisture is blocked down towards the Gulf of Mexico thanks to a high over the southeast. But that's going to allow temperatures to climb back into the 70s, not only for today, but also Friday, Saturday into Sunday. So we're going to be seeing a little bit, we're going to continue with that warm surge as we go into the upcoming weekend. 74 for Friday, 78 is the record high for Saturday, but we're going to be a few degrees short of that, but still looking pretty warm into the upcoming weekend. 72 degrees for a high today, few morning clouds giving way to gradual clearing. Tonight we stay mostly clear and we'll have a comfortably warm night ahead with 46 degrees. Just take a look at these temperatures. Just make sure you take it in as much as you can because we cool down into next week. Back to you.
All right, time right now is 7:14. Still a lot of people mourning today. It's been 3 years since a former Rockford police officer died while on the job. We're going to tell you how he's being honored.
And the reason pandas are going back and forth from Korea and China, the newest baby we get to see this morning.
All right, time right now is 7:17. Want to get to some happier things going on today in our uplifting stories segment, starting with a 4-year-old girl in Turkey recovering in the hospital after being pulled from a collapsed building more than 90 hours after that deadly earthquake. Country's deputy health minister saying that girl is in good health this morning, and we're told that she was screaming under that rubble. Took rescuers hours to get to her. Cannot even imagine that.
Oh, with a little bit of luck and good timing, astronomers say they found this surge of powerful radio bursts appear to be in the universe right now. So scientists back in April say they saw a rare burst coming from right inside of our own Milky Way galaxy, which was spotted by 2 telescopes in California and Canada. It was tracked to a star called Magnetar. I believe I'm saying that right. It's about 32,000 light years away from Earth, so not too close to us. It might take you a bit to get there, but it's a huge discovery for a lot of scientists.
Yeah, this is just amazing too. A baby panda born in South Korea has a new name. Fubao now is saying that it means lucky treasure baby. So some fit into the comment.
Fubao, I think.
Fubao. Fubao is the name. Elliot and I switched trains here.
Nice ring to it, though.
Can we just say lucky treasure baby?
Yes.
Let's go with that. Lucky treasure baby. But this is a big deal, too, because actually his parents go from South Korea, from China. Back in 2016, it was a 15-year loan, so the couple actually returned to China about 3 to 4 years. You say it with a little more
confidence. Home sweet home. Fubao. Okay. All right. For nearly a decade, though, a troop of volunteers in Johannesburg, South Africa, they've been rehabilitating pangolins. You guys, I've never heard of this animal.
Take a look at his tongue, though.
Yes, this is an animal I've never seen. So this is watch.
Last time,
there it is. Look how long that is. And it's not like a lizard where it just kind of snatches out and comes back. Well, I guess it just
It looks like an anteater.
So apparently, though, these are running extinct. So these poachers, trying to catch them, but they're trying to save them. So
yeah, because when you're reading, you can't see the video. That's why I wanted to take a minute to pause there, Joey.
Look at it go.
And you know, still portions of Central America dealing with the major flooding that's been done by what was Hurricane Eta. It made landfall as a powerful Category 4 hurricane with winds up to 140 miles per hour. You can just see the extensive flooding in Honduras and also in Nicaragua, and a lot of people picking up the pieces as well, continuing to deal with landslides and then also the major flooding and strong winds with that tropical system still over Central America as a tropical depression. It's expected to track back into open waters and track towards the southern portion of Florida as we get into the upcoming weekend. Back to you guys.
All right. Thanks so much, Joey.
Well, time right now is 7:20. I think we're just, just kind of laughing this morning. It's nice to finally be together in one room again. I want to go to our Money Back question of the day. What do you usually stress eat? What's your go-to? For me, it's the Halloween candy in my son's Skittles.
I would say anything savory. I mean, at night, just in general, I go for greasy, cheesy things. Yeah, when I'm hungry, that's like my last snack. I'm not like a sweet person, but I'm really going for anything right now.
Yeah, we'll take anything. Let's see some of your responses. Well, good early morning. I'm Whitney Martin. I want to get you up to speed here with some of your top stories coming in happening overnight. 2 people are hospitalized after being shot on Rockford's east side. This happened on Carthage Drive near Alpine and Harrison about 1:45 this morning. Police say both victims are expected to be okay. Investigation, though, ongoing as we speak. Now, this morning, President Trump's campaign suing a number of states, claiming that they have not had access to oversee some of those ballots.
Yeah, election night is slowly, obviously, turning into election week. We've been talking about this. We're trying to calculate numbers as we go along. So President Trump, former Vice President Joe Biden, they both need to get to 270 for either of them to win. So overnight ballots have been coming in from key battle states like Georgia. That race narrowing as we speak. We're seeing those numbers go down to less than 20,000 rather. Their election officials saying they're going to try to have those votes in by 11 today. Biden has been closing the lead in Georgia and Pennsylvania, while Trump is closing the lead in Arizona. We've been talking about how important that state is. 60,000 votes now between them in Arizona, so that lead obviously closing in as well.
And taking a look at today's forecast, temperatures back in the 70s this afternoon. We'll see a few morning clouds, and that will give way to plenty of sunshine. We'll have light winds throughout the day, so if you're planning on doing any yard work, perfect day to do that today. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon with highs in the low 70s. We get to tonight, dropping down into the upper 40s, mostly clear skies, pretty comfortable as we head into the day tomorrow. 70s continue into the upcoming weekend. 72 Friday, 71 Saturday, still in the 70s by Monday, but that's when rain chances come in and cooler temperatures by next Wednesday. Back to you.
All right, time now is 7:24. For those of you watching on Channel 17, Good Morning America continues next. Everyone else, stay right with us on Fox 39.
Live from Fox 39 and your home team. Eyewitness News in the morning starts now.
Well, election night turning into election week. Lawsuits flying in the face of many states, including from the Trump campaign, as a battle to get to magic number 270 continues this morning.
Then more than 20% of people tested for coronavirus in Boone County have COVID-19. The impact this could have on the entire state line.
And many of us taking turkey dinners for granted on Thanksgiving Day, but the way a group of state line workers are making sure those in need right now have a proper dinner this holiday season. Good morning, good Thursday morning. It is 7:29 on the dot. We like to make sure you know what time it is as you're heading out the door, maybe you're rushing out. I know I'm that way.
I know I'm that way.
Every second counts. I feel like in the morning, especially when we work this early, I look at my clock on my oven. That's the one I always look at because I'm racing in and out of the kitchen, going to the bathroom.
Right.
You know,
I feel like your clock is probably an hour ahead still on the microwave.
Actually, it is not. You know what? In my car, it is. It's still wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey. Just give me a break.
Oh, shocking.
But I actually did fix because I always look at those when I need to go to bed because I try to put my phone away and charge it.
You're really good about that. I am
trying to do that, so at least the last hour or two of my day is not with my phone. So I try to hook it up to the charger so I look at those clocks to know when I should go to bed.
It's so funny too because that's the time that I'm actually down looking at my phone and I'll just, Elliot, like I'm sending you stuff. I'm like, oh, no response. Now I get it.
What's going on?
It's clear to me now. Well, thanks for being with us. As Elliot said, every second count, every vote counts. I'm seeing all these new tallies coming in this morning. We're going to let you know the latest on the presidential election here in just a second. Want to bring in meteorologist Joey Marino, who agrees with me, though, about Elliot.
Joey's laughing at me right now.
Well, I'm laughing at that, but I'm also laughing because our camera guy is doing some kind of happy dance behind the camera.
It's just really cold in here.
It's because of the weather. It's so nice.
That's a way to stay warm, but also to stay warm, we're going to continue to see highs in the 70s. We've had 2 days with highs in the 70s so far in November. The most in November, 1999 with 5, and we got a couple of more to add on to that as we head into the weekend. Mostly cloudy skies out there as we take a live look over in Freeport this morning. So a different start with cloud cover out there this morning as opposed to the last couple of mornings. But 50 in Freeport, 46 in Rochelle, 46 in Savannah, and 52 up in Janesville. Now, looking at winds, very light in most spots, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds, a little bit breezy though in Monroe. Satellite radar, pretty quiet. We do have some cloud cover to deal with this morning, but we're going to start to see that clear out as we head into the late morning hours. Plenty of sunshine for the afternoon with highs in the low 70s. I'll let you know how much longer the 70s stick around in the forecast. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much for this morning. President Trump's campaign suing a number of states, claiming they have not been given fair access to oversee the ballot count process.
Yeah, election night slowly turning into election week right now. Eyewitness News, of course, your only local election headquarters. President Trump or former Vice President Joe Biden, of course, need to get to that magic 270 number to win the White House. Overnight ballots have been coming in from key battleground states. We're talking Georgia, Pennsylvania, Arizona. We just are hearing that Philadelphia County, they're hoping to have all of their votes tallied by 11 o'clock. So we're watching that right now in Georgia. Another number where that lead is really narrowing right now from President Trump, only 18,000 votes between the two. Trump, though, closing the lead in Arizona, Nevada. They stopped counting. That's going to resume later this morning. We're hearing 9 o'clock for that. Meanwhile, the Winnebago County coroner formally reading his charges a day after he wins an uncontested election with just 75,000 votes. Just a day after his re-election, though, Bill Hintz appearing in court on forgery charges. He was arraigned after being indicted last night. He pleaded not guilty. Hintz has been charged with 37 counts of forgery, official misconduct, theft, and conspiracy. His wife, Michelle, facing similar charges. The couple is accused of misusing a county credit card. The couple, of course, due back in court later in January.
Well, coronavirus positivity rate in the state line continuing to climb this morning. Right now, it's at 15.7%. Take a look at this screen there. Boone County, just over 20% right now. Carroll County, not far behind. Stevenson County at 17.5%. Ogle County, right there, nearly 16%, along with Winnebago. Now, the lowest positivity rate, DeKalb County, just over 11%. We are still keeping an eye on all of this. Here is why, too. State-line hospitals starting to feel strained this morning. They see an uptick in cases. Right now, they're at a critical point. The Winnebago County Health Department says 330 new cases, a huge cause for concern. Hospitals are seeing limited beds. They don't have enough qualified staff. They're admitting that this morning. Health officials say they have not reached capacity, but it could happen if these cases continue to climb, and those numbers are climbing. Administrators say the community has to work together, wear your masks, social distance, and get that flu shot.
State leaders say Illinois has seen a big spike in some coronavirus statistics over the last month. Since the start of October, the number of people in the hospital with the virus now more than doubling. But it's in the last week, though, all Illinois 11 regions have seen a really big increase in their rolling positivity rates. The highest is our area, Region 1, sitting at 15.7% of all people tested coming back positive. The Illinois Department of Public Health reporting more than 7,500 new COVID cases and 55 deaths in just the last 24 hours.
We have to act differently. Mitigations that limit public interactions only work if everyone takes some personal responsibility for masking, social distancing, and following the CDC and IDPH guidelines.
The Illinois Department of Public Health reporting more than 7,500 new cases, again 55 deaths in just the last day.
Restaurant industry taking a big hit due to the health crisis. Other businesses, organizations struggling as well.
Rockford's Director of Community Economic Development telling Michelle Rave it's important that owners know business interruption grants still available to them right now.
Many industries have been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, including Rockford's Discovery Center.
It has been hard on the museum. We've had to close for 4 months. We are now open, but only partially, and can only handle very small numbers of folks in the museum. And as a museum whose big revenue sources are admissions and memberships, it's been particularly hard on us.
The City of Rockford is encouraging businesses to apply for a state-run business interruption grant, which helps businesses who have suffered significant financial loss.
So we want to make sure that City of Rockford businesses apply for this money so that we get our proportional amount that we should get, but that they get as much as they can to support their businesses through COVID.
Not only did the Discovery Center get the grant, so did Michelle Petit with hair salon Bomb Hair Designs.
The grant definitely helped because, like I said, it's like the bills is like kind of like all on my shoulders. And then we just opened, so we hadn't even been open that long, and then now, you know, the pandemic hit. So it's like, you know, in order to stay afloat, it was like, it just kind of like helped kick everything in and keep it going so that we didn't have to stay closed.
Carl Franzen says the application process is simple and the grants range from $5,000 to $150,000.
There's $100 million set aside for downstate businesses, which includes Rockford, excludes the city of Chicago and the collar counties. And so there's a dedicated pot of money there for that. And so there's less competition, even though the program overall has very high interest.
Recipients say they're grateful for these grants, which have helped them through these uncertain times.
We're applying for any and all grants that are out there that are available to museums like ours or nonprofits and small businesses. Just to help support us and the mission that we have to help support our community.
If we can get through the pandemic, I'll be able to get through whatever else happens.
Reporting for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
Well, 2 people are in the hospital this morning after a wreck on Rockford's northwest side. This happened just before 6 at Meridian Road near Kilburn Avenue. Our crew seeing those 2 sedans with severe damage. White car ending up on its roof. The darker vehicle, you'll see it right there. Some front end damage. Multiple ambulances called to the scene. Both victims, though, in stable condition. If that changes, we'll let you know. Well, this morning is a very somber day for the Rockford Police Department, really our entire community.
Today marks 3 years since Officer Jamie Cox died. It was on November 5th, 2017 that Cox pulled over Eddie Patterson for driving on a revoked license. During that stop, there was a struggle. Patterson taking off with Officer Cox hanging onto the truck. It crashed into a tree. Cox dying on impact. Investigators determined Patterson died after Cox shot him. Winnebago-Boone County Integrity Task Force ruled that shooting was justified. Officer Cox, only the 7th Rockford police officer to be killed while on duty in 100 years.
An annual ceremony in Sycamore honoring those who have and continue to serve our country. The Avenue of the Flags placed outside DeKalb County Courthouse Wednesday afternoon. It's in preparation for the 24-hour Veterans Vigil. Organization Vietnow starting the event more than 30 years ago. Organizers say helping out is more important this year due to civil unrest and protests across the U.S.
When you put the uniform on, there's a lot of deprivation that takes place there. You're away from family and friends and a civilian life that you have been accustomed to.
Adkins says 25 to 30 people pull a 1-hour guard for this vigil. It starts at 4 p.m. Friday and 24 hours later.
State line workers pitching in to make sure those in need get a warm Thanksgiving meal this year. Employees from Byron Generating Station donating $10,000 to the rescue mission. That money was raised during a scheduled refueling outage at the plant. A vote by workers decided what nonprofit would get those donations. Rescue mission officials telling us that money will help pay for this year's Thanksgiving celebration. A lot of people struggling right now just to put food on the table, and say gifts like this are crucial to keep their doors open.
We rely 100% on our corporate partners, on our individual donors, the businesses in the community. All of those funds help support this mission here that makes it possible for our community members to receive the help that they need.
The rescue mission plans to feed more than 300 guests during this Thanksgiving meal.
Well, the show must go on for some young performers at Hononegah High School, so this should be fun. Students are set to do a virtual performance of Alice in Wonderland. It's happening this weekend. Performances going to begin at 7 o'clock Friday, Saturday nights, and then Sunday the matinee show starts at 2 p.m. Teachers say that this is going to be more of a classic fairy tale. It's also a really big deal, though, because so many obstacles for our children this year. But all the details, we got it for you on our website.
All right, time now is 7:40. Apple now joining the race for 5G. The amount of 5G devices expected to hit store shelves in just the next year.
And we're expecting to stay in the 70s for not only today, but into the upcoming weekend. I'll let you know how warm we'll get coming up.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Whitney Martin, Elliot Glandia, and meteorologist Joey Molino. Now, your first warm weather forecast with meteorologist Joey Molino.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday. Yesterday was the second straight day that we had highs in the low 70s. The most that we've seen during the month of November is 5 back in 1999. And with the way that trends are looking into the upcoming weekend, it looks like 2020 will take the top spot as we roll into next week. But overall, a pretty quiet start out there as we take a live look at our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera over by the Park Hills Golf Course out in Freeport. Mostly cloudy skies. That's the only difference this morning, is that we have a little bit more cloud cover than what we've had the past couple of mornings. You can see temperature-wise, we're a little bit warmer as well as you step out the doorway. 49 in Rochelle, 52 up in Janesville, 50 in Freeport. and 50 degrees as well out in Savannah. Winds remain light out there out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour, but this wind is also going to lead to temperatures climbing back into the low 70s by this afternoon. But overall, pretty cloudy out there. You can see on satellite and radar, still mostly cloudy for all spots across the state line. You can see a little bit of clearing once you get closer towards Dubuque and then also Waterloo, Iowa. That clearing is going to be continuing as we go throughout the morning, and that's going to lead to plenty of sunshine for our afternoon. You can see much of the lower 48 this morning is pretty quiet. We do have that weak disturbance that brought us the cloud cover last night, now passing to our south. That's going to be moving to the east of the area as we head into the late morning hours, and that's going to pull away the cloud cover, not only bringing more sunshine for our day, but that's also going to be allowing us to warm back into the 70s. We'll have a high of 72 degrees. A light breeze will carry on into this evening, but we're going to stay pretty quiet as we head into the overnight hours. So let's take a look at that using Futurecast. You can see as we head into the mid-afternoon hours, all of the cloud cover is clear of the region. I do think we hold on to a few clouds into the afternoon, but overall plenty of sunshine and another beautiful afternoon to head outdoors. Now this evening is going to stay pretty quiet. We're actually going to stay pretty quiet throughout the night tonight. Once we get rid of that cloud cover, we're going to be seeing mostly clear skies tonight. Temperatures, because of a light southwest breeze, are going to fall back down into the upper 40s by tomorrow morning. So continuing to stay mild with our mornings, and we're going to stay quiet for Friday morning, and that's going to lead to another quiet afternoon with plenty of sunshine for Friday afternoon with highs back into the low 70s. Now high pressure over the southeast is going to block all of the moisture from making its way up into the state line, so that's why we're going to stay dry not only into week's end but also into the upcoming weekend. Temperatures are going to continue to surge into the 70s, near record highs for today and also tomorrow. Not quite for Saturday, but Sunday as well. We're going to see temperatures just a couple of degrees short of the record highs that have been set for many years now. But overall today we're going to see a high of 72 degrees. A few morning clouds giving way to gradual clearing, and that's going to lead to plenty of sunshine for the afternoon. 46 degrees for a high today. Comfortably warm by tomorrow morning, mostly clear skies, and a sun-filled Friday does lie ahead. We're going to continue with sunny skies for Saturday and Sunday. Rain chances return Monday, but just look at those temperatures. Continue to enjoy them. Back to you.
All right, we will. Thanks a lot, Joy. Well, the virus cases on the rise right now. Stocks of some critical protective equipment falling right now at healthcare facilities around the nation. Levels of N95 face masks from healthcare workers are below recommendations right now.
Well, now that Apple has joined the 5G race, including its new iPhones, key chip maker expected to surge in sales. Qualcomm, a leading provider of 5G technology, expecting about 500 million 5G devices going to be shipped next year, just about doubling this year's total.
T-Mobile has now agreed to pay $200 million to settle an FCC investigation. Regulators had been looking into the allegations that Sprint, which was bought by T-Mobile, failed to follow the rules of federal subsidy programs, and they're still looking at that right now. Time now is 7:47. Coming up at 8, making breakfast with booze. The new way Panera Bread plans to add some alcohol to their menu. A lot of people excited about that.
Yeah, excited about this too. Kanye West, of course, thanking supporters after his presidential campaign comes to an end. But I say for now, because now he's going towards 2024. We'll tell you his latest tweet.
in the midst of all this election news, sports, of course, still happening. The Packers set to take action tonight. NAU's football season, though, off to a bit of a rocky start. Scott Leber has those stories.
Typically in early November, the NIU Huskies would be making their final push to try to make it to the MAC championship game. This year, though, it's all changed. Last night, the Huskies instead played their season opener. They hosted the Buffalo Bulls, the team picked to win the Eastern Division of the MAC. The Huskies have been picked to finish last in the West with a very young team. So let's go to Husky Stadium, where, except for a few family members of the players, the stands were empty. Some cardboard cutouts, though, were in the house. In the first quarter, Buffalo QB Kyle Vantrease throws, and Antonio Nunn makes a great diving grab in the end zone. The Bulls went up 14-3. Early in the second, Eric Collins, a junior college transfer, now NIU starting tailback, darts into the end zone, and the Huskies trailed 14-10. Later in the second quarter, it's a major breakdown by NIU's defense. Jared Patterson gets outside. He avoids a tackle and then flies down the sideline. He goes 56 yards for a touchdown. Buffalo led 21-10. And right before the half, though, NIU comes back. Ross Bowers throws, and he's got DeKalb's own Cole Tucker for a 16-yard touchdown. It was a ball game at halftime with NIU trailing only 21-16. But the Huskies were outscored 21-0 in the third quarter, and NIU lost to Buffalo 49-30. Well, it turns out that one play that Mitch Trubisky was a part of for the Bears last Sunday, the short run he had, he injured his throwing shoulder. He didn't practice today, and his status for this Sunday is up in the air. The Packers, meanwhile, are ready to go at it tonight against the 49ers, despite the Niners closing down their team facility yesterday. One of their receivers, Kendrick Bourne, tested positive for COVID-19, so he will not play tonight. Three other starters for the 49ers who were in close contact with Bourne also will not play. They are offensive tackle Trent Williams and receivers Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. That's sports. Have a great day.
All right, well, thanks so much. From a popular artist breaking a record on SNL to another artist running for president in 2020. We'll show you everything that's trending this morning. One thing we do know about the race for the White House, Kanye West not going to be the next president of the United States. A lot of people surprised by this. He didn't really have a huge chance, but he was on the ballot for nearly a dozen states, grabbing about 60,000 votes in total. Sounds like a lot. Actually, the best came from Tennessee, but when you see that entire breakdown, not really a whole lot. 0.3% of the vote. West conceding with a post on Twitter saying Kanye 2024, which means this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Dave Grohl going to add to his record for the music appearances on Saturday Night Live. His band Foo Fighters going to play the show this weekend, their 8th appearance, but it's going to be Grohl's 14th. Dave Chappelle going to host. He did this after the election in 2016. A lot of people excited about that this morning.
You know, I know he did that 4 years ago, but I remember I used to watch and listen to a lot of his stuff way back in like 2010. I haven't really been keeping up to date with him, so I'll be interested to watch him, see what he's up to, and I know.
I always watch it the next day. You know, it's a little too late for
next
me.
day or Monday, whatever day I can catch up. Well, we also want to wish a happy birthday to Oscar-winning actress Tilda Swinton. She's 60 today, while another Oscar winner, Sam Rockwell, is turning 52. All right, we've been talking about this all morning long. We want to hear from our Morning Mug Club. It's a stressful week for a lot of people.
It is.
You know, election nights, late nights, early mornings. I know for us, we've been working a lot. What are you stress eating? We're talking food today. What are you gravitating towards?
Yeah, there's a lot of candy wrappers in my bed. Well, good early morning. I'm Whitney Martin.
And I'm Elliot Grandia. Let's get a look at your top stories right now. Of course, all eyes on the presidential election right now. President Trump's campaign suing a number of states, claiming that they have not been given fair access to oversee some of the ballot counting process. Election night slowly turning into election week right now.
President Trump, former Vice President Joe Biden need about 270 electoral votes to win. Now, overnight, of course, ballots have been coming in to the key battleground states like Georgia, Pennsylvania, Arizona. Biden has been closing the lead in Georgia and Pennsylvania. New numbers, though, are just coming in this morning. President Trump going to be closing the lead in Arizona, Nevada, where they've stopped counting. We're going to hear more about what they plan to do with all of this later this morning.
Also, something we're watching, the Winnebago County coroner formally reading his charges a day after he actually won an uncontested election with 75,000 votes. Just one day after his re-election, Bill Hintz appearing in court on forgery charges. He was arraigned after being indicted last week. He pleaded not guilty to this. Hintz has been charged with 37 counts of forgery, official misconduct, theft, and conspiracy. His wife also facing similar charges. The couple is accused of misusing a county credit card. A couple due back in court coming up in January. Joey?
And we're starting to see a few breaks in the clouds, especially out towards the west near Freeport. Here's a look at our SkyTrack camera over by the Park Hills Golf Course. You can see a light breeze there with that flagpole, but we have mostly cloudy skies for the start of our Thursday. Temperature-wise, we're in the low 50s in most spots. 53 in Sterling, 52 here in Rockford, 50 up in Monroe, and 50 in Savannah. Winds remain light out there, about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Satellite and radar also quiet this morning under mostly cloudy skies. We're going to see some of that cloud cover give way to plenty of sunshine as we get into the afternoon. That's going to help us warm back in the low 70s. So another beautiful afternoon ahead. Just got to get through this cloud cover. Back to you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Joey.
All right. Your only local newscast right now on Fox 39. We're having some fun this morning, as you can tell. Come join us.